solved it. Finally, when I whispered, I get it now, a bunch of goosebumps galloped across my body, lingering somewhere on my cheeks. It tingled my skin, but I ignored the sensation. I get it now. Okay, that was my inner drama queen, but now back to Analytical Goose debunking major complaints. The recent drama in the fandom around the absence of spiders has shaken Dragon Age community. I was a bit confused. Firstly, we heard that spiders were in the universe because the characters from the Vows and Vengeance podcast encountered them. Secondly, there are alchemy purposes for the spiders, and this very thought made me dive into a self-made rabbit hole deeper than I expected. So, if you're ready, make yourself a drink and listen closely. Spiders are to blame for changes in the gameplay, and I will show you why it happened. Let's start talking. We will start from afar. So, deep mushrooms. Deep mushrooms in Dragon Age are a type of fungi that typically grow deep underground, found in the deep roads where the dwarves and the darkspawn live. These mushrooms are a valuable resource, especially for the dwarves and other people who don't live underground. Dwarves, and I'm talking about surface-dwelling merchants, trade deep mushrooms as they are a crucial ingredient in alchemy. In Orzammar, these mushrooms may also be a part of food and medicinal practices given their abundance in the deep roads. But that's not all to the story. Deep mushrooms have a direct connection to the Blight. They are often found in areas where darkspawn activity is high, suggesting that they thrive in tainted or blighted environments. Decaying organic matter is one of the key causes of mushrooms growing in abundance. Do you remember where we harvested all deep mushrooms in Dragon Age Inquisition? You know, that time of the year in Thedas when spider corpses begin to bloom? Aww. So yeah, without spiders, we might get a connection that Tevinter doesn't have deep mushrooms, and this is a huge thing. Deep mushrooms are used in potions and elixirs. We can gather them as crafting ingredients in all Dragon Age games. They are essential for creating health, lyrium, and stamina potions. During my recent streams, we briefly discussed the changes in combat gameplay as warriors don't have stamina now and use rage points that build up gradually with every attack. The next day, we accidentally tripped on a mushroom joke because it all started with a conversation about spiders' disappearance from the game. Guys, I'm telling you, it's all connected, so stay with me. How do you expect blood magic when you don't have deep mushrooms? Tiger, we need to make it Channel's quote. I will, if you don't mind, I will take it and I will post it, somewhere in my bio. And I will give you a quote that you said that, because, it's hilarious. I'm actually crying here. Warriors don't have stamina because there are no spiders to grow deep mushrooms for stamina potions. We have green vases that restore our health because we can't brew a decent health potion or regeneration potion without deep mushrooms. All previous games had them in recipes one way or another. It means that Tevinter either imports mushrooms to create their potions or use their original ingredients, which is more likely. The lack of access to deep mushrooms forced Tevinter to create new alchemy formulas that don't rely on them. They probably invented potions using other magical creatures or resources native to their own environment, giving Tevinter special advantage in some forms of magic, but leaving them weaker in others, especially those requiring rich fungi-based concoctions. Considering the traits of this belt, and we can see that it applies burning to nearby enemies on potion use, plus 12% radius to off potion effect, well, we will have potions in the Veilguard, 100%. There will likely be a potion that prolongs your rage when you play as a warrior, or helps it to build up quicker. I mean, that is such a fantastic narrative and world-building detail for lore nerds like me. I'm really happy right now. So, you can tell me that I'm imagining things, okay, but provide your solution while criticizing. But for other gamers who are lore lovers and storytellers, if you watch this and have access to Bioware devs or writers, please send them this video. I need to know if I solved the whole conspiracy around spiders and debunked a complaint in the meantime. Okay, let's imagine that Tevinter didn't find a solution to replace deep mushrooms and everything stayed the same. We still have stamina, we still have the normal health potions in the gameplay, and also let's not forget about lyrium potions. Deep mushrooms are used for that as well. So, visualize an empire of mages without lyrium potions. I doubt they would have preferred crunching lyrium crystals like carrots, because we know that raw lyrium is dangerous for everyone except dwarves. The mining cost of the dwarves is the only group capable of safely mining and processing lyrium into a less dangerous and more useful form. How they achieve this is a tightly guarded secret. In its natural state, lyrium is described as a metal, by the way, so Tevinter had no other way but to conduct a trade alliance with the dwarves. You might ask a reasonable question, well, if they import lyrium, why they won't do the same for deep mushrooms?
Because it adds character to a place, you goose.
Great question, actually, and here is when politics enter the scene. Refusing to do that adds character. No one wants to be fully dependent on another civilization. Importing all vital resources for performing magic is a political and economic suicide. Moreover, Tevinter's thirst for magic made blood a legal resource. I mean, think about it. The lack of spiders and, therefore, deep mushrooms for lyrium potions have already spurred this replacement of a magical amplifier. Another fictional but potential branch of reality for us to unravel if we suggest that Tevinter didn't find a solution to replace deep mushrooms is division of wealth. If this ingredient becomes expensive due to its scarcity, only the wealthy or powerful families in Tevinter would have regular access to them. This could further widen the class division that we spoke about in the previous video. Check it out if you know nothing about Tevinter society, it's tough there. So, imagine when powerful magisters control scarce resources while the lower classes struggle to afford even basic potions and supplies. It worsens the situation for non-mages to the point that they become unable to treat the sick and injured. Another thing is political manipulation. The scarcity of deep mushrooms could give rise to political intrigue, where powerful coalitions in Tevinter might try to monopolize the trade and control of imported mushrooms. These could result in conflict over control of these resources, with some magisters even funding expeditions to the south of Thedas to harvest mushrooms directly from the deep roads. In fantasy universes, when you can't really get something directly, you will always find it on the black market. Due to the absence of deep mushrooms and their high demand, there could be a rise in smuggling or black market activity around the resource. Deep mushrooms would be worth more than in other regions, and there may even be restrictions on their trade, making their purchase more dangerous and illegal. Summarizing all that and saying this story in other words, Tevinter is already a terrible place for the Separati and the Liberati classes, for slaves, and even for low-class mages. Let's not add political and social inequality that depends on mushrooms, okay? Alright guys, let's start the discussion. Firstly, this video was born because of the stream and the warmth that reigns in our cozy chat, so don't be shy and join us next Tuesday. Secondly, does this spider mushroom theory sound convincing to you? I don't know, do you really care about spiders in games? I care because of alchemy purposes and the lore, by the way. Also, do you think that the writing in the new Dragon Age game is as clever and layered with complexity as usual because of the consequences we discovered in this video? I can't wait to learn more about the Veilguard lore and see how many simple mortals become blessed with magic because of Solus and his failed ritual. Have fun, play video games, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!